If things look complicated within the UK, where are you seeing the best growth opportunities?
Well, one of the reasons I'm in Shanghai today is because we see a lot of growth opportunity in China. But actually, we continue to see growth opportunities around the world, most particularly because the risks that our customers are facing are changing all the time. And with that change comes opportunity.
When it comes to China, though, you, of course, are offering direct insurance since 2010, but premium income in the first 7 months of this year weren't as significant. So how important will the China strategy be for you?
Well, we've been trading in the rest of the world for 300 years, but only 11 years in China. And so we need to temper our ambition with some patience as this economy builds and as our opportunities build. And so part of the reason for being here is to build relationships with Chinese insurance companies and to help as their business develops, and particularly as China itself internationalizes and begins to share some of the risks that the rest of the world has already experienced.
Bruce, the trade war and some of the criticisms that have come from President Trump have really, in a way, put a spotlight on the difficulties that foreign firms have to deal with when they're doing business in China, and amongst them, of course, financials, with some of the biggest barriers to entry. What would be the biggest challenges and barriers to your growth in China that you see at this point?
Well, certainly I regard protectionism as a huge risk for the insurance industry, particularly the wholesale and reinsurance industries, because the whole purpose of what we do is to bring big amounts of capital to the point of need when a disaster strikes. And anything that ring-fences that capital or prevents the free movement of that capital works against the economics of the industry, but also fundamentally works against the purpose of insurance, which is, of course, to put people back on their feet when disaster strikes. So protectionism is a very big risk for the industry.
In terms of opportunities that are specific, not just to China, but really, I guess, whatever comes in as part of China's world view, I'm thinking of Belt and Road here. Do you see opportunities, or have you found opportunities in the One Belt, One Road program that has been, you know, the possibilities for insurance in that project?
Yes, with a slow start. I mean, we've actually been involved in 3 projects in the Belt and Road so far, a railway in Kenya, a bridge in Mozambique, and a power plant in Vietnam. But we actually estimate that more than $30 billion of premiums will be paid in the next 12 years to support the risks created by the Belt and Road projects.
Now, former CEO Ms. Beale was telling us last year that you were introducing cybersecurity insurance in China. Would you be able to give us an update on that?
Yes, so it's what I referred to earlier. The risks that our customers are facing are changing, and we need to adapt our products to make sure we have relevant solutions to the risks that they're facing. So cyber risk is the fastest growing product that we write in Lloyds. We believe we write 30% of the global cyber insurance market, and it's unsurprising as China develops and evolves, and that the technology and sharing economy in China grows, that their cyber risks would also grow. So we're certainly introducing that product to Chinese insurance companies and to Chinese businesses to help them manage those risks.
10 years, it's quite extraordinary looking back. I guess time flies when you're bouncing back in terms of the global economy. What are the lessons learned from your perspective?
Well, the biggest lesson to learn from the financial crisis is, of course, better risk management. And this, of course, feeds into what we do at Lloyds with respect to providing protection to our customers against risks that they don't want to assume. And managing risks effectively alongside the investments that we make to generate returns is something all of us in business need to and have spent a whole lot more time on since the crash, and almost certainly a lot more on it than we ever did beforehand.
So, Bruce, where do you foresee the biggest risks coming from now?
Well, you know, we've talked already this morning about cyber risk. I think that is a very big risk for companies. We're seeing its manifestation in data breaches around the world, and we've seen hacking activity bring down whole systems and indeed whole industries for a period of time. I certainly think that is an increasing risk facing the world and something we need to get our arms around, company by company, but also state by state.
What about economic risk? Some say it could emanate from China.
Well, I regard economic risk as well underpinned at this point. It clearly is never a straight line in terms of the way growth works, and so people have to be both resilient and flexible in the way that they work. But I see China's economic boom continuing for some time to come. But it will hit headwinds periodically, as all economies do. But I don't see any reason for particular concern with respect to China at this point.